Hey, Darren Garman here, and I want to welcome you to this episode of the Heartland Multifamily Show, the channel for all things multifamily. I'm excited about this episode because I get this question a lot, and I know that you have thought about this question too in terms of investing in multifamily, and we're going to talk about when is the best time to invest in multifamily. So before we get into this episode, a couple of things for you. First of all, number one, I'd love to hear your comments on what I go over in this episode. So please, below, share your comments with me. Would love to get your feedback and would love to respond to you as well. All right. Second, hey, this is the channel for all things multifamily. So if what I'm talking about on this episode resonates with you, make sure you click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes, because we cover some great stuff here on the Multifamily Show. Welcome to the Heartland Multifamily Show, the shorter, more profitable path to multifamily ownership and investing. Okay, let's talk about the question I get quite a bit, and it comes and goes. So there'll be like days or even weeks in a row where I get this question a lot. And then there'll be maybe 2 or 3 months that go by and I don't get the question. But recently I've gotten the question a lot. And here's the question I get. Pretty simple question. Here it is. Darren, when is the best time for me to invest in multifamily? When's the best time? When's the best time I should be going all in and making investing in multifamily a priority? And this is whether you're a passive investor, you just want to be passively involved in owning multifamily, or this also includes if you want to be active, you want to be managing, you want to be a landlord, you want to be, getting your hands dirty in the business and the operations of multifamily. Because it doesn't really matter, because the question covers really all bases. When is the best time to invest in multifamily? So I'm going to take you back to, I was a guest speaker at a college a business real estate class here about a week ago. All right, so they brought me in, I'm down below and they've got all the seats above, like the auditorium set up and the class is there. And I'm giving them a presentation on multifamily. And of course, a lot of Q&A afterwards. Over an hour of Q&A I had with the students there. And a lot of the questions from the students centered around our question of the day is, hey, when's a good time to invest in multifamily? And so I'm going to start out with you and telling you what I told them, specifically one of the young people in that class. I'm going to tell you what I told him, and I'm going to expand on it a little bit because it's going to sound a little oversimplistic at first, but you're going to want to stick with me as I go into the weeds just a little bit on why this is important. So the question that the young man asked me was, of course, he is either probably a junior or senior in college. He's going to be graduating, anywhere from 2 years to a year down the road. And of course, I don't know if he's going to grad school and all that, but let's just say he's got at least 1 or 2 years left of college. Okay, so he asked me this question. Hey, when is a good time or the right time for me to invest in multifamily? All right, so here is my answer. Right now. Right now. Okay, right now you want to be working on investing in multifamily. Okay, right this minute. Now, of course, I'm not saying drop everything, run out the door and get started. But see, what a lot of people do is they think they've got to do this first, then this next, then this next, then this next, then this next, and then they finally get around to investing in and buying their first multifamily property. So, this college student, junior or senior, he's probably thinking, well, first I got to get my real estate major done. Okay, then that's done. Then I got to get some final tests taken. Then I got to get that done. So he's already got in his mind like this list he's got to do first before he gets into multifamily. No, you want to start doing things now. Okay, you want to do things now, even while you're doing other things to pursue multifamily. Okay, so why? First of all, there's never a right time. As I've said in other episodes, It's always a good time to be buying multifamily in any economy because there's always good projects to own in any economy. Okay? And then number two, I take you back to a book written by one of the biggest and best and well-known real estate gurus out there by the name of Sam Zell. Sam Zell. So Sam is well known for his real estate exploits over the years, decades of experience in real estate. And a few years ago, he came out with a book, and the title of that book is Am I Being Too Subtle? Am I Being Too Subtle? And Zell takes you back to his days as a young man, coming over into the country, going to school, finally to the University of Michigan. And this is what that young man's doing while he's going to the University of Michigan. Okay? He's buying real estate. He's looking at real estate stuff there while he's going to school. Okay? He's not waiting until he graduates. He's not waiting for someone or something to finally give him permission or, in a sense, ordain him to be able to do this. He just does it. He doesn't wait around. He jumps in and starts getting the experience and the knowledge right away. Did you hear what I just said? The experience and the knowledge right away. So let's go back to our college student. Okay? College student is asking me, when's a good time? I tell him now, right now. He's looking at me like, how in the hell am I going to, what are you talking about there? So he's already thinking all of the things he has to do until he gets to a point where he may be able to do that. And I'm sure probably part of it is capital, being able to get financing and those kinds of things. So here's what I told him. I said, look, you already have mentally all these blocks in front of you to getting started. But I said, the biggest regret that I have personally, and one of the biggest regrets that my most successful investors that I have involved with me in owning real estate, that I hang out with, that I talk to, I communicate with. And I'm talking the big dogs on the porch here. Okay? What's their biggest regret? They didn't start sooner. They didn't start sooner. Knowing what they know now, they were guilty of, like I was guilty of, waiting for some event, something to happen first before I start acquiring the knowledge, the skill, and the experience to be really good at multifamily. That's the biggest regret. So when you take the biggest regret, or one of the biggest regrets that most successful multifamily owners have, and it's, I should have got started earlier. You got to get started earlier. So let's go to our college student again and use him as an example. So even though over the next year, maybe 2 years, maybe he may not be able to pull the capital together, even though if you're creative, you can figure something out. Even though he may not find the right property that will make sense, even though if you work hard and you're creative, you probably could. Okay, so let's say even after a year or 2 years, he comes out bust. Nothing. He doesn't have anything to show for it. Think of the experience and the head start that he has when he finally gets to the one that's going to be that first great property versus waiting 2 years, starting at a lower level, taking another 2 years to get to that level of where he would be at if he just simply got started. You may have a lot of roadblocks in front of you too. There may be a lot of reasons why you're like, not yet. I got this to do. I got that to do. I'm telling you, it's mostly bullshit playing in your head. Now, am I saying you make the decision on a Monday and you own a 400 unit property on a Tuesday just because you decided it's time to move forward? Of course not. But you're not doing yourself any good by delaying and waiting for whatever you think you need when at the end of the day, you don't need anything. All you need to do is to get started. Look, I've been doing this for 3 decades, okay? I talk to, deal with successful investors that have also been doing this for decades. And again, what's one of their biggest regrets? Not starting sooner. So my friend, today is the day. Get started, get moving, get the momentum going. Stop creating reasons and roadblocks in front of you to get started. And even if you go down the road 6 months, 12 months, hell, even 2 years, and you still haven't acquired anything yet, the amount of experience and knowledge that you've got as a result of doing it is just going to make that purchase, that investment, once you finally hit it, that much better, that much profitable. And what a great way to build your foundation with a great property like that. Okay, so I hope that you've enjoyed this episode of the Multifamily Show. And I'm glad that you've joined me. Again, I would love to hear your comments on this episode. So make sure you leave me some comments below. And again, if what I've talked about with you today on this episode, if it resonates with you, especially up here, make sure you click the subscribe button. Would love to have you as one of our subscribers. All right, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.